Hi everyone, this is Val from Barley Craft Studio, and today I'd like to do a quick tutorial on making a no-sew journal. I'm using a digital kit of my own called Tea Party in the Rose Garden, and I'm going to base it on just 7 pages. If you want to make yours bigger, of course you can, just print more of the pages. The kit provides you with 7 or 8 of these rose pages, plus some that are, maybe I've got some done at the back. I did them on the backs as well, but there are some plainer ones as well in the digital kit, and that one as well. So, you've got a bit of a variety of what you're going to do. So I want to get through this quickly, so I've prepared most of the stuff ahead of time. I've trimmed the white edges off these, and I've cut the 2 cover pieces. And I've also cut the cards that will be used as well, and most of them I've already rounded the edges, but I will just leave 3 to edge. I'm sure everyone knows how to corner your pockets, your tags and things but I want you to see that if you didn't have a corner rounded, they would look fine just with the corners left square. So we've left a couple like that. There's a lot of ephemera in the kit as well. There's lots of little cards. There's pockets, a couple of slot pockets there. I may not use both, but there are 2 in the kit. Lots and lots of cards and ephemera, like just really lots of it. Beautiful images that we will use to decorate the pages when we're finished. Lots of little fussy cuts. I've cut mine out with my silhouette, which makes it a bit easier. But you can cut them manually if you wish. I also printed the same thing on sticker paper, so I can decorate my pages with stickers. I know not everybody can do that, but if you can do fussy cutting, you can do what I do, but with the die cut instead of the sticker. There's also lots of tags. There's 3 different shapes of tags. There's this one here. It's a little cute, I don't know what shape you would call that. And then there's these little ones with the fancy tops. Not sure how well they're showing up there. And then the big square top ones. So there's quite a lot of those in the kit, all in the roses and tea party kind of a theme. There's also some postcard things here, and one of these we'll use for a side tuck, and some are just to stick on as pockets or to attach as ephemera. So let's get right into it. So as I said, you get 7. We're using 7 pages. I'm going to pick some that I think are particularly beautiful and follow those with the image inward. Excuse the puppies, they're going to be noisy and naughty now. Would you like to go outside? That one's the same, maybe this one, that's a pretty one. So just maybe 3 pages that you would like we might leave those plain, you see. So yeah, let's do that one as well. So we'll do those like that. The others don't matter so much. Now the outside page, the very first one we use, you won't see it in the end because we do stick the cover over it. So I'm going to do this one as our first one. Okay, so we'll do that first. 1 page will show in the book, but that's going to be the front cover. We need one similar for the back cover, so we might have that one for the back cover. You don't have to do it like that, you can just do them randomly, but I like to choose which one it's going to be. One of the tricks to this is to make sure you keep them all going the right way, because unfortunately I tend to reverse the page when I'm adjusting things. So this is not really directional, is it? It could be either way, they're a bit the same. I'll do it that way, I think. Yeah, okay, so that's my first page there, like that. And we'll do this one next. We won't, we'll do one of the ones that's staying. I didn't fold you at all. That is so pretty though, isn't it? Maybe that's one I'll do that one. Now, one of the other things that you get in this kit is a page, 2 pages actually, like this, that are lace pattern. And what you do with those is trim the edges off and then cut them into strips, which I've already done here. I've already cut the strips. So I've got 6 strips, and that's how many I will need to make this journal. Obviously, if you make a bigger journal, you will need to have more of these strips to join them. So all we're going to do here is, if I can get my glue to be nice to me, or perhaps it's not the glue, I shouldn't really blame the glue, it's more me than anything. Have I got that the right way? This is my problem. Yes, that's beautiful, that's nice. Now sometimes if I'm having trouble lining them up, I will use my clips here and clip them to the top of my board to keep them in place. But I've made a couple since I was having those problems, and I think I'm all good now. My biggest challenge still is that I'm a bit too liberal with the glue. I find it very hard to get right to the edge, and I put too much on, so, you know, bear with me, because that makes it messy, and then you have to worry about the pages sticking to each other if you move on too quickly. So I'll get the first couple done, and then we might do something else while we let them dry a little bit and come back to it. So just a bit of glue all over. I'm just going to line up the tops as best we can and lay our joining strip over the top. Now, I trim them afterwards because I don't want them to be too short. So I'm not surprised to see that that hangs over the end, but you can see the effect of what we've got so far. Excuse me while I grab my scissors. And I'll just trim off that bottom piece so that that's level with the bottom. Okay, so that's our first page sets added together. Okay, so that's going to be our front, and that's our first. And just fold that like so. So that's going to be our first piece, which we will attach our cover to. That's the first page, which is left as a whole page piece. And this one where we've got two different pages joined together with this strip, and then another double page. So we'll just do another one, and I think I'll do, did I say that one's going to be the back? I think I did. We might do this one next and do that like that. Now, when I said you can have them whole, you still can put the panels over them if you wish to. You don't have to have any left whole. I just sometimes think it's nice to just have some that don't have the topper, the page topper on them, and you'll see what I mean when we move on to the next step, what that actually means. I'm sorry, I hope the music isn't too loud in the background. It keeps the puppies a little bit calm if they can't hear all the noise from outside, and there's just a bit of constant background music. I did turn it down, but some songs seems to go a bit louder than others. I hope you can hear me okay, despite that. And then again, I'll just trim the bottom. I could have done a better job of trimming these, of course, but I just think you get it more accurate if you just do it at the end. Yeah, that's my thinking anyway. And then we just fold that over there, and there you go. You can see we've actually now got a few pages joined together. Hopefully I did that the right way up. But if you don't do it the right way up, it's okay. You just put the topper over that one and it's all good. Yeah, that worked out well. So there we go. We've got a bit of a thing here happening. So I'll just trim that off now. I've trimmed my pages. Oops, sorry, you can't even see what I'm doing. I trimmed my pages with the guillotine, and unfortunately some of them moved and they are not all exactly right. But you know, it's very forgiving little journal type, and that's still going to show a bit of white there, so I'm just going to put a bit of, I'm just going to ink that, because I don't want to keep cutting it off. I'll end up with problems, more problems than ever. So I think they're dry. I'm not being too lavish with the glue, and they seem to be drying okay. So I might just keep going with this. Right, another page to join. That would look pretty, wouldn't it? Even though they've got a joiner in the middle, the pages are very similar. So you can, of course, use other papers here. You don't have to use all the ones in the kit. You could add some, I mean, I think some music paper added. I did that in one of the ones of these I made, and it was very effective and nice. So it doesn't all have to be the pages in the kit. If you wanted to have a break from the roses, you could do something else. And in one of my kits, I actually used up some of my, it wasn't actually cardstock, but it was like, you know, the paper pads, and it was light paper. So it was one-sided, so I just printed something on the back and used it instead. And it used up some paper that I wanted to get rid of. And, yeah, it looked quite good in the journal as well. So that's another option. You can use whatever papers you want to do here. Sorry, I keep moving out of frame, and I apologise for that. So I just trim them as I go along and fold them as I go along, and that's what we end up with. Now, if you're going to make a bigger journal, I would suggest that you make probably about that many pages, and then or divide it in half and do half and then do the other half and then do that last join when they'll be level. Because as it gets bigger, it's a bit harder to line the pages up when one's high and one's low. You still can do it with 7, but if you went much higher than that, I think I'd do it in 2 sets, and then it would be quite easy to join the 2 halves together. If anyone gives it a go, do let me know how it went, because I think that would work. I stick to 7, and you might think that's not many pages for a journal, but when we finish with this, it will be jam-packed with stuff. And you might not see the finished article of this. I mightn't get it all decorated in one video. Might be 2 parts, or I might not even do the decorating. I might show you one of the other ones I've finished instead. I've just finished a really beautiful one with a pretty little girls, not just one, lots of pretty little girls in it. And yeah, it's very pretty, so perhaps I'll show you that one at the end so you get the idea of the finished article. These are not lining up even as good as they normally do, so bear with me here while I just trim them up. I'll load the fruit later. Let them dry a bit first before I try hacking them. You can always go back to the guillotine and trim. So the pages are not all that even, not all that level, and yet this is going to work out beautifully, I'm sure it will. Sometimes about this point I'm starting to think, oh, this isn't working out too well. But you know what? It does. At the end of it, it does. But I might just, for accuracy of my cutting there, I might go back to the guillotine for trimming. I'll see what I think when I'm done. I just can't get the scissors at the right angle to trim them. And you'll see what I mean about I get a bit lavish with the glue, and then they start sticking, the pages start sticking to each other. I know some of you clever people have little art glitter glue and all sorts of fancy things to seal your, oh, I think that one moved. If it moves, turn it over and do it from the other side. Just, yeah, line that up as best you can there. That's not right. Goodness me. Perhaps do this side here. Now, I thought I had a cloth somewhere for when I'd be sloppy with the glue, but that's not looking too good, is it? Looking very crooked. Well, I have to continue, even though I've messed this one up slightly, because I don't have more sets of papers to start over during the video. So we are stuck with my bumbling along, guys. I'm so sorry about that. And you can see what's happened up there. It's not straight, as I knew it wasn't. We'll have to disguise that, but that's the beauty, isn't it? Isn't that the beauty of junk journaling? It's just a matter of finding some way to disguise those little bloopers, little things that we do that aren't quite right. And it just means, you know, putting some lace or some stickers or something up there to cover that up. And you probably won't even see how crooked that one is. I hope. We'll see. This one might be more challenging to decorate, so you'll see what happens when you make a mistake. And I think sometimes that's the beauty of seeing someone craft, because their mistakes can be, you know, you can say, I could have done better than that. That's okay. I hope you have a go, and I hope you can do better than that. But this is precisely why I was saying if you had a big stack, I would divide it in 2 and then join the 2 together so that they're level here and not one high, one low, which makes it a bit harder to stick the pages. And that one's not gone too right either. I think it's still going to work out okay, guys. So just bear with me while I do this last page to be affixed. Now at the moment it's looking like a very small journal, isn't it? But it gets jam-packed with so much stuff. It's quite loaded at the end. So I think 7 pages is enough, but again, as I said, you can do more if you want to. It's totally up to you. And that was a bit better. Stick it down a bit more before you try and turn it over, Valerie. All right, okay. You can see I've got pages all higgledy-piggledy here, so there's some trimming required. They mightn't have been the right or the same shape in the beginning, but I think they were. I think so. So really I should go back to the guillotine and chop those up, but I'm not going to because you mightn't have a guillotine, so I'm just going to try and fix it up a little bit here. That side's better. That's not too bad, is it? It's this side that's actually quite a problem. And I don't know if my scissors are going to be able to do it. Not too bad. Guillotine would do a better job, I'm telling you now. But in case you don't have a guillotine, this is what I would do. Right, it's probably good enough. It's probably good enough. Excuse me while I have a sip of coffee. Rightio, so that's the basis of the actual journal. Now, normally I'd put the cover on next. So we'll do that, we'll put the cover on. And this is the cover. Now they are bigger than we need. Got 2 pictures, and I think I want this one for the front. So this should be the front, I believe. The roses is a good one to start with because it's reasonably non-directional. Perhaps that way was the way I intended it. Apache, please go and play with your sister and leave me alone. Go on, off you go. Go on, go. Go and play. Go outside and play. You're not getting any more treats. Right, so now, what did I say? This one is the front. I believe so. Or did I say that one? You see, even though they're non-directional really, I'm going to go with this one and stick this on here. So it's going to overhang. Oh, first, sorry, before we go there, we look at what we're going to put on that spine to cover the spine. See our spine there? So I've got a few options for this. Sometimes I use fabric. You just need something that will cover over there. So I've got that one. And so I'm just going to look at what they would look like if I put my covers on. You won't see much of that. So I've got that. That would look all right, wouldn't it? Yeah. Or I've got this one. Also pretty. That would work. That one's a bit too, I think that's too red, that one. But I've also got this beautiful panel. Where'd that go? This beautiful panel of, my goodness me. I've got all the things I wanted to use and now I'm losing them. Alright, so I've got this beautiful panel of lace. And that lace works beautifully as well. So I could just put a piece of lace over it. Any of those will work. I think I like the first fabric I used though actually. So I'll go back to that one which was this little piece. Hopefully it's big enough. The lace may get used for something else in the journal, but I think for this I'm going to do it with this one. So I just want it to cover that, just make sure it does cover it. Just make sure it does cover it, sorry. I keep moving it too close to me and I'm just going to cut it roughly because I'll trim it later. And I want that to be underneath the cover, and then I might put lace over the top as well. So I just, a bit of glue, slop a bit of glue around. I do put a bit of glue on the spine as well, although, you know, perhaps you don't really need to. And then with glue everywhere, except all over me, fortunately this time, I will just lay this on. Have I got it the right way? Yes, I have. And just put that over the spine. Just put that over the spine like so. And it doesn't matter if it's not even or whatever, because you're not going to see that. That's going to be underneath the covers. Apache, please go and play and stop being noisy. Apache likes to sit up on this chair next to me when I'm crafting, so it's probably what he wants. He wants to sit up here too. He's a funny boy. He thinks he's human. Alright, I'll have to do it because he's annoying me. Excuse me one sec, will I? Get him up on a chair. Come on then. Come on, Apache, come, quick. Good boy. Sit there. You won't stay, so you go and play. So then I'm going to have to lose some of the picture, just a fraction. And I don't really want to lose this edge, so I'm going to just trim off just a slither with the guillotine on the other side. Of course you could have done that with scissors or a paper trimmer, so please don't worry if you don't have a guillotine. And I'm not going to ink the edges just yet, although that will probably happen. Right, so having put that on, I'm just going now to glue. I glued this piece, not the cover, because the cover's going to be slightly different, slightly bigger, just to make sure that you get enough to cover the whole thing. Looks like I need a brush to attach this properly, but anyway. Fingers were invented first. And then I'll line up the top corner. As best I can. That doesn't look quite straight. I will be putting lace down that edge anyway, fortunately, because that didn't work out as well as I would have hoped. Can be trimmed, but as I said, I knew I'd have to trim this edge here, that the image was too big. And usually I would look at what I was losing and whether to take it off the top or the bottom, but yeah, I wasn't that clever this time around. So there we see we've got the cover attached on the front. Now we'll do the same thing on the back. And yeah, this one also is quite a bit too big, but I'm happy to lose it off that edge this time and off the bottom. So I'm going to just do exactly the same thing, lining up the top corner, and then I'll cut off what's the overhang at the bottom. The kit provides it in a full size, so yeah, I'm not trying to be too clever and make it exactly the same size your journal will turn out, because you might trim more off, you mightn't trim off the white edges. You know, your journal might work out to be a different size than mine. So I've provided the cover image in full size for that reason. So I'm lining up the top corner and the top line and down the side there. Hopefully that's working out right. Yep, that's pretty good. Uh-oh, I did it the wrong way, didn't I? I just said I was going to line it up this side and cut off the other. Oh dear me. Believe me, when I'm crafting and I'm on video, I don't make quite as many mistakes, but I still make them. I still do. I still manage to somehow bumble along and turn out beautiful work though. So, but you know, how I get there is sometimes a little bit fraught with adventure. Let's put it that way. You're not actually seeing too much of what I'm doing here, but I'm just trying to trim all that off. Okay. When I made the first one, I didn't put the cardboard cover on it. I just used the page that was there, but I wasn't happy with the strength of it. It was just was not sturdy enough, in my opinion. So I just decided I had to do this. So obviously, because I'm trimming the page, I can't ink it before I fix it. So I ink afterwards. I'm not inking all the pages inside. I don't think it's necessary. And it's kind of very vintage looking, so I think it'll be fine like it is. Now I am going to put some lace over that edge there, possibly that one, although it's a bit wide, isn't it? I'll see, I'll find something in a minute. That one's too narrow. Maybe, we'll see. We'll come back to that because the cover can be, you can do anything you want to the cover after this, it's really after you. I'd usually at least put some lace down here. And on some of my journals I've also put other elements on the front, but this is such a beautiful kit, there's so many elements in it that maybe you wouldn't, but you've got all these die cuts too and stickers, so you know you could put these flowers on there as well and make a little tuck spot on the front. So many things you can do, but that's the basics of your book. And I've not done a real great job of lining it up, but I don't think it's going to matter. So there's our pages all ready for the next step. None have stuck together, fortunately, or too badly anyway. Now I've got one page that was really quite, oh here we go, I can feel one that's a bit stuck here too. That's the one that was really crooked, so I'm going to start with that one because we'll see what works best on that. Now we've got all these cards, and as I said, I've already trimmed some of them to be rounded and so forth. You've got some that are just writing papers and some that are plain, and that pretty one there. And then you've got these ones, which are the decorative ones. Now I'm going to put these here because I think that's actually going to draw the eye away from my wonky my wonky joiner. The other thing you could do with the joiner, of course, is you could put some lace here first and just go, you know, do a line of lace and cover up the edge. That's just too pretty for that though, so I'm not going to do it. If I had a strip of something, like I've got this here, I could just do another strip and cover it up. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. I might just, I might get this one. I might get this one, and I'm just going to do this, let's see, how would that look if I did it like that? So I'm just covering up my mistake, but I don't really need it all the way, do I? I'm just going to cheat here and just go. Not waste all my beautiful laces. Wrong glue. That glue is paper glue. This one is the fabric glue, which I would use for lace. And we'll see if my disguising works well. More glue might be in order. I'm just going to put that there so it covers that up, and there too. Trying to make sure that's straight. Didn't put enough glue on them. They come lower than I thought. Now I'm going to have to wait. I'll have to wait a bit before I stick the topper on here, otherwise it's going to stick to that glue. I don't know if this was a clever idea at all, to be honest with you, but never mind. In for a penny, in for a pound. It's committed to it now. And I need to make sure it's not going to stick up and be annoying again. Get the right glue. I made them a bit longer than I thought places. And just make sure they're glued down. You won't have to do this. Unless you like the look and want to do it. You don't have to though, because hopefully you won't muck up like I just did and put them on crooked. You always know something's going to go wrong when you're doing a tutorial, don't you? So, alright, so I just need that to dry a little bit before I move on to the next step. See, that's going to cover the fact that that wasn't straight. Perhaps you wouldn't even have noticed. So anyway, so what the program is here, we're going to stick these down just on the three sides. And on almost every page there'll be a big tuck spot behind the image. So that's why I say it ends up quite loaded. So while we let that dry a little bit, I hope you'll bear with me and we'll move on to another journal. I'll show you one I just finished. Because it actually shows the concept better of what we're doing. Now with this one I actually made a little folder too, but it doesn't fit in. So forget that for a minute. So this one, you can see the elements, there's something behind most of these. And you decorate the pages with the page toppers and you put something behind and then just a bit of decoration on the page as well. And there's plenty of elements in this kit. Okay, I don't have one in that. It's really challenging to find enough bits and pieces to put behind. But you get the writing pages one and the pretty ones. And then some I leave plain, so that's just the basic page without the joiner, so I just use that and put some of the cards, just paper clip them on with some things there. So you can kind of see how it goes, and then sometimes I do this, so they're on the outside and then there's something inside as well, just a little piece of paper or something. So that's giving you the idea of what we're trying to achieve here. Putting panels on many of the pages, that one doesn't have them again. And I think I tried to leave about 3 without panels. And this one had some beautiful dictionary pages as well. And there's one of the slot pockets put there as well. And some of the fussy cuts, I use those to make tuck spots, postcards as pockets. So just quickly, and then we use a postcard, similar to this, probably maybe even the same one. Could be in both kits. And I made some little envelopes here and, bits and pieces. So you can go as crazy as you like with the decorations, little embellishments up the top, and as I say, all the things that you put in the back. And I did a little triple flip here with a pocket behind, so you can do all sorts of lovely things once you get into the decorating part. And as I said, I may not be doing that in this video because it'd be quite a long tutorial if I did. So I'm just showing you now how I do it. And that's just one of the plain pages, but I've chopped one of these in half and just used that. So that one's very pretty, I think. And yeah, I'll put a little tutorial to making this little folder in at another time. But it's going with the journal, but I was hoping it would fit in, and it kind of didn't. So you don't really need to see that. But just to see like what is a finished article and what we're actually trying to achieve with this one, I thought would help, since we may not get that far with it. Right, I think they're dry enough now to stick these on. Did I like those? Did I like those? Or do I want something else now? I've decided I've disguised that. Do I want her in that? Yeah, I think I do. All right. So you probably all already know this, but one of the things I make sure of when I'm gluing my cards is to hang on to the side that I want to be open. Otherwise, I tend to glue the wrong part. And here we go with me being either too liberal or not close enough to the edge on my gluing. People say, oh, you must have failed kindergarten. Well, the problem is I didn't even go, you know. Grew up in the bush in Victoria, and yeah, there were no kindergartens. So now I've got the lace there sort of softening that edge a little bit. I think that looks quite good. And that's the first. I only did this page first. Normally I'd start at the front and go from there, but I went to this one because I knew I had a problem to sort here. And I want that to be the side that opens. Yeah. So you've got more sheets, more of these page toppers than you actually need for a 7-page journal. I gave you plenty in case you do make a bigger one. And also you get to choose which ones you actually like. I tend to like having the writing paper ones, so I've probably printed a couple of the writing page ones just to give myself more writing space. But I also create writing space, and I'll show you how I do that later. So yeah, so we've got lots of pages still to put the toppers on. We don't want to go too crazy and put it on too soon. So let me just show you what I do sometimes to create some more writing space. I just print some of these up on just copy paper, just the plain old copy paper, and then I'll just, I don't cut it, I like that slightly rough edge. So I'm jumping ahead here while that glue dries just a fraction. And even if the video goes to rack and roll after this, I think I have shown you the basics of what we're doing here. So there could be there's another, I didn't do that very well, and I do have to use the scissors because I know I'm not going to, because I'm going to ink this, so the little white edge there doesn't matter at all. One of my puppies is happy now, he's sitting on the chair next to me, but the little girl, she's running around madly. She doesn't know what to do without him to play with. She won't sit in the chair, I do try, but she jumps off and she's painful girl. So yeah, so there you go, just a little bit extra writing space, and that just gets tucked in one of those things behind. Oh, I sometimes put little tabs and things on them, as you saw in the other one, so you know there's something behind there, but these ones maybe I wouldn't. I'll just leave them out just a fraction, because it's a bit hard to put a tab on that one. So you get the gist, and I've got others where I just print them on copy paper too, and they're just little writing places that you can put behind. You can put journaling cards behind, there's lots of cards like these kind of things. These could be put behind as well. These can be put behind the topper cards, or they can be just paper clipped to a page, which we'll do one of in a minute, so you can see that variation as well. It's all pretty self-explanatory, I hope, but if anybody wants any more information, please do ask. I'm more than happy to fill you in on the details I might have missed. I'm not up for making really big tutorials, guys. I'm really sorry. It's just not me. I'm a quick one. I get sick of. It's not that I get sick of making the video. I kind of make mistakes and then I'm not happy with it, and it's too long that you've wasted all that time. So I don't like that. So that one's a bit rough there on that short edge, but that's okay. That just looks good for the vintagey look of the bit of torn paper there, and a little bit of inking. And I'm not going to put this on the other page here because I like to spread them around a little bit. So, but I'll put it aside to put in another side tuck later. And I try to make it that I'm doing things that everybody can do. So I wanted to show you that if you haven't got a corner rounder, which I've rounded my corners, you can barely tell though, really, honestly, that if you didn't round the corners, that one's not going to have, that one's got to be one we'll do a paper clip on. I'll do that in a second. So this one here, if you didn't round the corners, where are the ones I didn't round? That's a rounded one. Oh goodness, I did leave some unrounded to show you. I know I did. Right, here they are. So you can just have them like that, and you can't even tell the difference. So if you don't have a corner rounder, please don't worry. You can just use the cards as they are in that square. Once you cut them out, they come two to a sheet, and when you cut them out, they do look quite pretty. Now, with this one here, as I said, this one I'm just going to put some elements up the top here. I think I might just do a couple of cards. I like that one, but yeah, we'll do it like that. And then I just paper clip them up the top, and I usually have a paper clip like this. I've gone ahead and put my little, I just tie that on the top there and then just give it a tweak so it kind of stands up that way a bit more. And then over this side, well, we might do something different. We might do one of these cards. And what else have we got? You don't have to have two, there's plenty of ephemera, so I do tend to go with, do a few. So that's what I do with the plain pages. Of course, you could have pockets on them as well, and we'll do some of that as well. So you kind of see we've only done 2 pages so far, but you're getting the gist of how it's all going to come together. So now I had those, so I think I'm looking for some plain pages now, even if it's only on one side, knowing that we've got, I put pockets on that one, so that might be a good idea. And we can either put a pretty one this side, I think we will, and a plain one that side. Although they match, do I want them on the same page? No. Do I? What do I want? This is the biggest challenge of it, guys, just to figure this out. So before I do it, I'm going to stick one of these. Do I want the pink or do I want the green? Decisions. I think I'll go the pink one. Is it too pink on pink? Maybe the other one was better because it's a different pink. Yeah, I want that one. Alright, so those are the things. Now, I'm not inking all of my ephemera, my cards and so forth, but I will ink this because there's a lot of white edge showing. So I just ink those the little slots so it's a bit nice. It doesn't matter if it's not all inked. I just do that. I might as well do a bit of inking. Right, so and then I'm just going to stick that down on 3 sides there, and I do that first. I keep on moving out of frame, so sorry. This is where it's important to get it close to the edge, and this is where I still fail, but never mind. I should get one. I've actually tried the little bottles with the tiny little, micro tip. That don't work for me. I still manage to make a mess. What can I say? And then just stick that sort of down on there, roughly central. And that's a good way to put some of the tags and pockets and, the tags and cards and stuff in. Well, not that it fits too many, you need the smallest tags for that. It's quite, or make some special. So, yeah. Oops, I'm sticking this all the way on now and I wasn't going to. Oh no, I'm going okay. I'm not thinking what I'm doing, obviously. So I've still made it so there's a side tuck, but you don't have to. You can glue some of them right down. And actually, if you're going to put any of the tabs on the outside, which is another thing you can do, looks very pretty, you do want some stuck down so the tab stuck on the edge isn't interfering with that. And then I decided I want this one here, didn't I? Right, so that's the side I want open. Yes. Yeah. I'm a bit embarrassed really to show you how bumbling along I go when I'm crafting, It all comes together in the end, but you see some people and they're just so good. They just do everything right first time. And I'm like forever trying to find a way to cover up a mistake. Well, not always. I'm making myself sound worse than I really am, honestly, I am. So some of the things that will look good in this little tag, this little slot pocket over here, are going to be some of these. And I had them all a minute ago. Some of these little ones. They look pretty, don't they? See those little ones there? They can go in there when I figure out how to get them in. And these little ones as well. They probably would look better with an inking because there's that white edge around the top. So that's up to you whether to ink or not to ink. That's the question. That's up to you. And perhaps one of these would fit in there as well. So I'll just quickly do that as well. And make sure, or hope and pray, that they don't stick to the pocket. I'll just pull them up a bit. So there you get the idea of that page. And then we've got another one at the end that could just be left open with paper clips on, and it's totally up to you whether you do or you don't. The full spread, you can leave them whole. I mean, it probably wouldn't even matter if you left one of them whole. It really doesn't matter. I think it looks quite pretty even with the joiner, but nevertheless, we will continue on. Now I want to use some of the writing paper ones, and I sometimes put these on alternate pages so I have them opposite each other. So there's one of those. Where's the other one? I've got to get another one surely. No. But then oh, there it is. But no, that's the one I'm going to put behind it. That's the lighter one. And I've also got, oh goodness, see, there's a lot of choice about what you can use, but there it is. So you could just do them opposite sides. And if you like that look, go ahead. They've got a little rose imprint in them, so make sure you have them up the right way. But I don't know if I want to do that. I've got a lot of beautiful pictures of ladies to use up. So I think I might do that one over there. And I'll put one of the pretty ones here. This one with the cake. Look at that. So you've got so many pages to choose from, it's really hard to choose. So yeah, I'll do this one. Hey puppies, be good, be quiet please. You need quiet. You can see how well she believes that I should be able to tell her what to do. Now this one, I'll go that way. Quiet girly, please. Please be quiet. The eyesight's not too great either, guys. That's part of the reason why I keep going out of frame, because I have to look at what I'm doing more than I need to show you. But here we go. That's not too bad for me. That's a pretty good effort for me, actually. And I'll get that off there for the minute while I stick this down. And just line them up as best you can. Now I'll eventually come to the point of decorating these, and that's where all the little die cuts and stuff work really, really well, because, you know, that would look really cute there on the corner, you know, or somewhere there. So you've got those little die cuts, little beautiful cups, and I think I might just bring you in a bit closer. That's not real great, is it? Can you come in a bit? Yeah, that might be better. I'm sorry if you haven't been able to see what I'm doing all that clearly all along. But yeah, so there's lots of little things you can do to decorate the pages. Yeah, so moving along. Now this is another double page we could leave blank. So let's move to the ones we know we're going to put some elements on there. With that one I put the, you're supposed to be over there under that. This one we put the writing page on that side. So this one I might put the writing page over here. And I might use, will I use one of these ones? It's also got a rose imprint. I think I might do that one. I think that would do. Now I'm going ahead, assuming I'm not going to put tabs on them, and going down just 3 sides on pretty much all of them. There will be 1 or 2 maybe, but at this point I don't know for sure what I'm doing. There's so many variations to what you can do here, honestly. And yeah. That looks directional, and I want it to be stuck that side. Open that side, sorry. The problem if this video doesn't work, guys, I don't know I'm going to do it again. So, you know, it might be used even if it's not correct. Now one of the other things I do here is I like to put a bit of lace across the bottom of some of the pages, so we'll do that too. I might do that later when I'm doing the decorating, so we don't have too much wet glue to cause us problems while we're doing this. So we'll continue on doing the pages, and again we'll move to this one. So we do have the same kind of, they look a bit wide. I might want to use them. I've got plenty of pages to use, and I want to keep using these gorgeous ones that kind of set the tone for the, you know, tea party in the rose garden. I mean, really, I need to have, I think I'll do that and that. I want to make sure I've got plenty of tea party ones, because that's what the theme of the journal is. So yeah, now this one hasn't been corner edged, and because I want to keep the look of this journal, I just left some square to show you they looked all right, but I do want them all to match in this journal. So I'll just quickly, sorry I'm out of frame again. So sorry. This journal kit will be available for anyone who wants to have a go with the same elements I'm using. But as I said, you can use it on anything you've got. You just need the basics of your pages and then your toppers. And that can be existing cardstock you've got, or, you know, other issues, other images you've got sitting around the place. You can do anything you like with this concept. And I love it. This is probably about this is probably about the 8th one I've made. But I had a little gap in between where I made a different kind of a journal, and that's why I'm kind of, I'm not saying I'm struggling with it, but yeah, it's not going as easily as it did when I was doing the first few. So yeah, see, so we're getting some really beautiful pages now. Now I think we need to have some more writing papers. So I think I might do, not really a writing page, are you? That was upside down too, so don't worry about that. I think I want this one over here. It's very bright, so I might put something else on the other side. Where's my other? Maybe I'll put a vintage receipt over that side. What do you think? Yeah, I think so. So as well as make sure I put it up the right way, as well as the images for the tea party, you do have, you know, vintage invoices and writing pages and all sorts of other things that you can add to break it up. And it's totally up to you what you want. I've given plenty, as I say, in the kit. So this one's just a wee bit wide. It's also a wee bit crooked. Fortunately, the glue I use has got a little bit of tolerance to reposition it. I know some of them, I think the art glitter glue doesn't have that, so it's probably one of the reasons why I don't like it. Well, I wouldn't say I don't like it. To me, it doesn't have the value that these glues do, so I don't have it. I don't use it. Though I have tried it, yeah. Moving a bit. There's the join. Plenty of room. I could have gone a bit further over. I don't worry too much about making sure they're level, you know, top wise or anything like that. And if I come back and think that looks a little bit, you know, off centre, I'll just put lace across the bottom of one of them, because I like to do that anyway. So rightio. So this is a full page. We could use that just to paper clip some things on, or we can stick some toppers on. That one could be the same. Indy, quiet please. That one could be the same. And it just depends on how many you want to leave like that. And I think that's too many. I'm going to put a topper on one more. Oh, I've got a topper to do on this one as well. Now what I also want to do is do a flip. I mightn't do the full flip that I did on those other ones, but I will. So I want a card as the base for my flip. And then I think that one, I'm looking for cards that have got two the same size. They don't have to be the same kind of image, that's too small. Maybe that one. Yeah, alright, they're the same size. That pretty cut, what are you the same size as? You can cut them down, of course. They're both cups, but that could work. yeah. I'm only going to do a double flip this time. I'm not doing 3, I'm just doing, I'll just put that there like that. Does that look good? Or does that look better? That way, yep, that way. So this one will go on first. And you just need some, you need a hinge for it. And I use cardstock for the hinge. And I did put some aside to use, but of course it's disappeared. I'm sure you all know what my desk probably looks like. Now you need your cardstock to just be just a bit smaller, so that one will do. And I just fold that in half. You're just making a hinge here. And I'm kind of like speeding along a little bit, so I'm probably, you know, not being as careful as I would otherwise be. And I want that one to be the front, and I want the hinge to be that way. So I'm just going to fix that there like that. Again, I'll probably ink the edges after I have it attached to the other piece. Let's do that up there. Yep, okay. And then on the back, I'll just glue that whole thing to the other card. It's a wrong glue. It would work, it's paper glue, but I do like the fabric glue best for everything. But I was trying to economise a bit and I got that not fabric glue stuff. And it does work. Of course it does. Normally I would probably try and match these, not have these both being, no, so that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work at all. Big sigh there. It's most important this edge matches, because if it doesn't, I can't do anything about it. Whereas the other side, I can trim that. Yeah, I can trim that. Which I'll do right now. And now is when I'll give it a bit of an ink. I'm going pretty light on the inking because it's not a journal where I'm actually thinking I need a lot of inky edges. And then this is going to be hinged there. And then when I do this one, that'll be there, like that way. And they'll flip out. Usually you'd have bigger cards perhaps, but I'm happy with that. That suits me fine. You kind of want this lined up, but make sure it's still got movement. That should do nicely. So now a little flip. I should have maybe inked that. It's alright. It's not an inky one. Alright, so this one now, I've got a piece more of cardstock for this one. That'll be right. I only have that and it's too short. Give me 1 second. I don't want to chop up something good, but I will. It might be too long because we want it to not be quite as long as the card. Oh, that does work, okay. All right. Okay. So this is going to be the top, and I want it to come from that side, so that's going to be there like that. I'll just work that a bit better, so make sure it hinges well. And I want the white side out because this was something, I don't want that pattern to interfere with my with the journal colouring. So yeah. I'm so sorry. This is going to be mostly out of frame, but my apologies for all. And as I said to you, if you want to see my tutorial, you might have to just settle for however I've done it. Right, so that's like that. Lined up there. And I might just ink that now because I thought the other one didn't look that great with that white edge. Okay, and then stick the other one to it. I sometimes do the flip down from the top, and I just do one then and put pockets underneath it. But this one is a side one. Just make sure I've got them the right way. Yep. Making sure I line up over that side because I can trim the other again, as I said in the last one. You could go into the corner a bit better. Alright. Give that a bit of a trim. It probably, since I'm inking, it probably doesn't matter if I don't trim it too much, really, honestly, because I'm going to ink the edge. And then it gets, I want it stuck there. I should put that one a bit low, but anyway, that's alright, I can go there. That there looks about good, about an inch from the top. Now it's still possible to make this one with having a side tuck, you know, like you can have that, still have the tuck underneath that. That doesn't hurt at all, so you can still do that. But the other thing I do like to do here is put a pocket on the bottom here. So I think I might use this. Yeah, I will. So once you open up the flips, there is a pocket inside the flip. And just to centre that there at the bottom, that looks nice. Straight as I can. I could have done the little thumb notch there, but I chose not to. It still works okay. So that's how that's going to be. Right, you can have whichever one you want over the top. I think it looks good that way. But it'll sit how it sits and it'll be how it is. So now that can be stuck down to the page. And I will leave it open on the side because I think this style of journal is really all about those secret spots behind the toppers. That's the beauty of this style of journal. So I'm going to stick to that principle. Just to see where my edge is. And yeah, there we go, that one's done. Now the other side, I think I want a picture of some of the morning tea stuff. Do I want that one? Or do I want her? I have lots of pictures still. I think I'm kind of looking for something that goes with that pink a little better. What about that one? I want to use that one, but is that the right? Yeah, I think I'll use that one. Okay, all right, that's it, decided. Like I said, that's the hardest thing to decide where you're putting them. There's so many good toppers to put on these pages that, yeah, it's, yeah. Hopefully I'm not sticking any of the pages together, guys. I'd normally leave it to dry a little bit in between, but I'm not making, it doesn't feel messy to me, so I hope I'm doing okay. So that's our very back page. No, it's not, that's our back page. Now our back page, we might just do some more of the paperclip idea. I did have some ready here. And just do, just put one of the big cards there. So, you know, they're good for writing on the back. So that works all right. So let's do that one, and that one you could write on the front and the back. So those cards can actually just be used as journaling, big journaling cards, and put on those pages. So that looks quite good, doesn't it? And there's so much other ephemera that you can put some others in there with it, you know. let's be generous here and say we might have some more. And we'll see what we need. I'll balance it out a bit at the end. Yeah, so here we go. We're getting there. Now I decided I've got that one. I'll leave that one, I think, and I'll put I might put her there. And I've got more paper clips ready. No. Yes. So I'll put her there, and the other side, I don't have another paper clip done, but I do have some paper clips somewhere, so I can still stick things in. They're just not in the same kind of a thing. And you can fix that up yourself. You might never like the big paper clips with the ribbons on them, the lace on them. It's totally up to you what you have. And we'll leave that one full as well. Did I say I would? I'm not sure. Can't remember. Yeah, I'll leave that one full. Could do with some more pockets, couldn't I? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut it in half on the diagonal on the chain. So I'll put it over this side. I don't like it on that page. Do I like it better on this page? Maybe I picked the wrong image to do. Never mind, I'm committed now. So I'll ink this edge so you can actually, it's a bit clearer to see that there's a join there for a pocket. And I'll stick the top down on all sides. So they can go there like that. And this, of course, is joined on all sides. There'll be no tuck spot behind this one. And on this side, I'm only just doing the bottoms, the sides. I mean, not that top. I'm doing the bottom and the sides, not the top. And then I'll just put that there and just overlap it just a little bit, so you still see the picture's got a continuity, but you've got that little tuck spot in the middle where you can put one of those. One of those nice big tags that we have. You know, maybe something like that. I'll put them in later because I don't want anything to stick where it's not supposed to stick just yet. And the other thing we do have to put on a page somewhere is that big, I showed you the big, still got all those left, lots left. Somewhere, here we go, where we could just put that like that as a side tuck, but I don't think I like it on that page. But then I don't really know I like that either. Look, it's coming along fine. Would this one be better? Instead of you being you be you. I think so. Have to ink the edges. I could round the edges too, but I'm not going to. I'll leave it at this and leave it pretty just a basic, you know, treatment for this big long postcard. And I want that fairly close to the edge there like that. And I'm just doing, do I want it to go that way or that way? I think I want it that way. Yeah, so I want that bit open. So I'll put the lip for this digital kit down the bottom. I don't know if I did that the way I said I wanted, but yes I did, yeah. And then just put it up against the edge there a little bit like that. And we could do with some embellishments down the bottom here, so we might, you know, stick a flower or something on the bottom that hides that. And we don't want to impede the opening there either. So now we've got this to come back to that other page, so it can go on that instead. No, I don't like them on the front cover. Deary me. Well, afraid it has to be for the moment. Let's just do that. So you see a paper clip. No, I don't like it. I really don't. I can't have it. They'll have to be plain. I don't know what to do with it then. All right. That's something to look at later. This one can have that. That will look good there. And it doesn't matter if you leave some pages plain and they don't have any you know, anything on them. They can just be pretty in their own right. So, you know, really. I like to put something on every one, I must admit, so it's a bit challenging to leave it totally blank, but we might. But at the end of the day, what I've done is shown you how to make this journal, the very basics. And I know many of you are going to go and do your own thing anyway and make them how you like, how you think they should look. And that's totally fine. So, you know, there's so much ephemera here to be added. We can add some lace to the bottoms of the page. There's so much we still can do to this. We've still got so much stuff left, guys. There's all these. You've got all these little labels. You've got the fussy cuts. You've got lots of little tags and stuff. And you know they'll be good to go in wherever. Is that it right there? No. So yeah, look, you could put more in. I've given you more because it is a fairly small journal. Just the. I think they're too wide. Yeah, they are too wide. And then you go, sorry, I'm losing track, aren't I? So then you go along and find some stuff to put in the backs and you embellish the fronts a little bit. So, but really that's the basis of it. That's the basis. So I generally tend to put a flip, 2 or 3. If I was putting another one, it might be something like, no, I can't find one easily. I might put another one coming that way over the top. But I think that looks good, and then you've got that pocket behind. And we can put a couple. I might put tabs on the top here of those, so I might even do that right now. So, sorry, I'm moving it out of thing again. So yeah, so that needs some tags in the back there, but do I want to put tabs on them or lace or put a hole and whatever? So they're all decisions to make, but I think that for the moment we've got the basics of our journal done. We still need something here, and I think I might weaken and put an image there, whichever one. Could do that, could do that one. I've got so many of the cake. I kind of like to think the cake and the cups of tea and things, what it's all about. So we've got a cup of tea and cake there. Do we want a cup of tea and cake there? There's cake. I don't know. I just don't know. And there's all the tags still to go in. You know, you've got to find somewhere to put all the tags. So I need more pockets. But what, as I said, and I'll say it again one more time before I stop repeating myself time and time again, I have given lots and lots of elements because you might want to make one with a lot more pages than this. And you certainly can because there's enough stuff. Just print more of the pages that are supplied for the backing papers, and then off you go. You can have a bigger journal as you want. But I would suggest, as I said already, that you do it in 2 halves and join the halves together, or 3 if you go really big. When you start looking for things to stick behind them though, that's when you start to think, oh, I wish I didn't make so many of these things because I can't find something to put behind. But I do have another one of these where I can just cut or tear these as to go into inserts behind. And I use some of the cards, so I could just do those, they'll be inserts. And then some of these cards as well, you can see how well organised I am. I've lost absolutely everything I had in my hot little hand a moment ago. That I might do something with this, like one of these 2 cards. I've used them as something to go behind the back. And you can either put a little bit of lace on those. Is that the right lace? No, it is not. Of course it isn't. We'll just use it anyway just to show you. But you just put a little tab of lace on the side. That's too big, but you'll get the drift. And you just put a little tab of lace on the side and just staple that rather to the edge of the thing. And then when you put it in, you can see it. But what I also like to do, I've got this punch, which I just love. I haven't had it all that long. And I'm going to make them out of this. I've made this on cardstock so I can. It's quite pale, so it's not coming up too well on the screen as far as I can tell at this point. I'll just make a couple of tabs. Alright, so that's full. So with this one, I just say, well, I could just do this. I'll just give that a quick ink around the edges. I'm being very light on the inking because it's not the look I'm going for, but some things just scream out to be inked. So. And I like to ink these too. Some things just don't seem to work without a bit of ink. And then I'm just going to put that on the side there, so you can pull it out. Okay. So that's the idea. But you can do it with the lace and a paper clip if you don't have this. But you know what, it doesn't have to be a fancy tab. I mean, honestly, you can fold a piece of cardstock in half, you know, that's just a rectangle, and put half on each side, exactly like I'm doing now with this. So you don't need all the fancy stuff, although they're all nice to have, of course. You don't really need them. So there you go, there's a little tab that will go behind there. A little card will go behind there, a little tab sticking out. So I've got some more of those. They can go on top of tags as well. I like to do those. Where's one of my tags? Like this one. I haven't inked this. And I'll just give it a really quick. Because the white edges just, they can be a little bit annoying when you're used to inking stuff. You know what I mean? But very light inking. And then I'm just going to put this on the top of the tag. So that's what I use these for, but you can use bits of ribbon for it, or lace as well. So you know how to decorate your tags, I'm pretty sure of that. If you've been crafting for a while, you have your own style of doing things. So that's not as high as it could be, but anyway, it'll do for the mini. Right, so there you go. So you can use the tabs for that as well. But again, you could still do the same thing with just a square of a rectangle of just cardstock. And that's where the beauty is of printing something like this extra. Just trim off that edge, and I'll just show you what I mean. Very rough here, very rough. Try and get this video finished. Just go like that, perhaps just that length there, and we'll do a little. We'll see if it works. It might be too big, but that's all right. We can trim it if it is. So we can just do the same thing and just say, oh, we want this one to come from the other side, so we'll just put that down there and do it like that. You don't have to be fancy. I mean, you could, if you had a rounder, you could round the edges and it'd look good. But you don't have to really have all the special stuff that we love having. Don't get me wrong, we love having it, but it's not essential. You can do it with that bit of paper like that for your tab. You can do that on the top of your tags as well. So I think I had all them behind there. Some of these might move around before I finished with the journal because I am going to see. So you could do that up the top there too. You could just do that and stick that up the top. But a little bit of lace put over the top works as well. A little bit of lace, or put a hole and tie a ribbon through it. Totally up to you how you decorate. And you've got all you won't have the stickers unless you can print them on sticker paper as I did, but you've got all those die cuts still to go along and decorate your page. And I probably don't have time in this video to do it, but that would be the next step, to go and do some decorations on the page. I'll be putting some lace on some of the pages, and I like it to hang down below, so I'll probably do that for about 3 pages. Just put a piece of lace across the bottom, and then I'd be using some of the fussy cuts to decorate the pages. If you want, you can use these as a tuck spot or just as a decoration. You know, you might put it there, or you know, put it on here and make it a tuck spot so you can tuck something behind it. You've got all the words, so you can make tabs long enough, you know, the double cardstock thing, and just put them on the edge of your pages. Or you can use them to decorate, you know, the pages themselves. High tea, rose garden, you know. You've got all those elements as well for decorations. But I think I'm going to leave it there, and I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have had a bit of a laugh at my style of crafting. I'm not always quite so messy, but videos challenge me somewhat, and I think it makes me nervous, so I'm worse than usual when I'm trying to do that. We've still got to do some decorations on the cover as well. It needs some lace on those edges, and maybe something else. I do like to hang a charm, so I might put some lace too at the bottom. Haven't decided, but that is your basics of So journal art. Thank you so much for watching, and as I said, the link for the kit will be below if you want to give it a go with the same kit I used. Thank you so much. Bye now.